Hold on.
Okay, perfect. I'm glad it all wasn't
We are
on the
live,
line.
Wendy. We are live, Wendy.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Val. Would you like to introduce our day?
Sure. We are joining together here today on 11/11/2016 at 11/11 with our most famous numerologist in Human Colony, Wendy. And we are joined today in the group with Angie, Bree, Jay, Jody, Michelle, Shiny, and myself. We'd like to welcome all of you to this healing hangout with Wendy. Wendy?
Thank you, Val. Love you guys. Anybody who knows me knows how much I love 11/11. I love the number 11 because it's my birth month. This is November. This is my birth month. And I also happen to be a birth path number 11, meaning when you add each digit up of your birth date and you add it together and then you single it down to either the lowest common denominator, this is your birth path number, and mine just happens to be 11. And so I've always resonated very highly with 11 and 11 and 11. And it was only in the last few years that I've come to understand the correlation between 11/11, the portals, gateways, the introduction to knowledge, the vibration of the number 1 in general, which is all the perfects today and the meaning for this healing today. So I had already been mulling over in my mind about doing a light language blessing today, just because it's 11/11, and for really no other reason, was to kind of illuminate this idea of 11/11 in general, because there's a lot of stuff out there on the internet and about 11/11 and portals, and I really invite everybody to explore it, because there's a lot of really very good information. But the synchronicity of all this is that I was debating whether or not to do it, and because of my circumstances here, I just have a mobile and things like that. Anyway, Val had approached, just sent me a message saying, you know, I really think that the world could use some healing after this whole election thing and people are confused. And so I thought, well, there's my synchronism, right? I mean, this is what this is all about, is synchronicity. It's about things happen in perfect timing for everyone and everything in every now that you choose to focus on. And that's a really big subject too, that all is so all happened in that. So in a moment's time, then we were like, okay, yes, that was my answer, that my guys were giving me my answer. We collectively needed to talk about our feelings and about and it just seems so congruent that it actually, this 11/11 follows this election time. And this is not something that is just something that's individual to the United States. This has ripples, of course, galactically. We already know that. So what I, in my own personal experience, the day after the election, now I already, because many of us know who are empathic, we kind of get these feelings of the collective consciousness. And anyone who knows me, I'm more of a conscious channeler. It's almost like it's all happening all at once, and sometimes I don't know if I'm talking or they're talking, but that's a whole nother subject. But the point is that I kind of knew what was going to happen, and yet what startled me was when I woke up in the morning after the election, even though I know what I know, and I know in my heart, and I can see the big picture, I could not explain or even understand or comprehend the immense pain I was feeling. And it was as if I woke up to the world in pain. And not to say that everybody isn't happy, but the point is, there was a ripple effect that happened collectively on this globe that was palpable. You could feel it as if you could almost smell it. It was so real and so thick. And I was startled by my emotions. I was startled by how I felt, and my immediate judgment and disconcernment, and I was starting to feel I was having about the hate I was feeling, because that's exactly the antithesis I know and what I project. And I was having this horrible time with this conflict of, okay, I'm not supposed to feel like this. To Bree, I think it was, I hate my hate. I couldn't believe I was experiencing the very thing that so contradictory. And yet what I realized in that moment was, it was like this huge download, and I've been receiving so much information in the days at that time in preparation for this 11/11, and that all of a sudden I realized that this is exactly why this is happening. And because, one, of course, none of us were tired of this, and we already know that. And of course, it takes a catalyst to bring us to this attention that, okay, the world is awake now. Isn't that what we were wanting? However, what was my own inner conflict with the feelings that were arising, and yet I was denying them. I was saying, oh, as a light person who wants to spread light and harmony to the world, feeling this agony or this pain or this feeling inside. And what I realized is, this whole situation, everything inside of us to the surface, to embrace the fact, I had to embrace the fact that I was feeling this feeling, and that this is what this awakening, coming to terms with these emotions that we have been suppressing. You're perfect. We are perfect. The other thing that I have to remember from a higher point of view, that we all have to remember, is there are billions and billions and billions of timelines and possibilities. And there are timelines in which neither of these were even born. There are timelines in which so says that we're together in this frequency, in this particular timeline, we all chose this particular one to focus on together in this way, in this now. And on a higher level, and our oversouls helping us with this whole experience, because we all chose it together. What I realized is what we have to ask ourselves is, when we're feeling this anger inside of ourselves about how could we collectively have a person that we call a leader who is so every possible negativity there is, yet we have to see that that's exactly what ascension is, as a collective consciousness. We are ascending in species. Huge, huge catalyst change in order to assist an entire planet and all of its inhabitants to a higher dimensional understanding. The real question here is, the real test for us is, can we unconditionally love for the part that they agree to, and bring to light all of this inside of us that we want to form about getting negativity. You can't get rid of something that's a part of all that is. It doesn't go anywhere. There is nowhere for it to go of everything. He is, where do we now in this year, in this timeline that we've agreed on? We can release the idea of victimization and victimhood, that this is happening to me and not by me right now. Because if you're here, you agreed to be here on some level, and we're doing this together, and we agreed to be here together. This unity is not an accident. We have all agreed to do this together. And so if you're sitting in this room, or you're watching this, or you're having these emotions, that you're even aware of this, being aware of your awareness is a huge step in the ascension process. How many of us were not even aware of our own awarenesses a week ago, a day ago, before the election, a year ago? How many of us were even aware of our own awareness of our own world around us? So it's not just about sending out light language healings and blessings, which of course we're going to do, because that's my highest joy. But it's about all of us walking out into the world and moving differently now, because you have to ask yourself, if I can unconditionally love whomever won or lost, and whomever voted for those people, or who, if you live in another country, how you feel about how this reflects in your own life is what we have to ask yourself, is what you have to ask yourself. I had to ask myself, what actually is my anger here? What am I angry about? And every time I answered the question for myself, I realized they were all, if you want to say, it's almost as if each time I answered the question, it evaporated. Evaporated. Because I realized that the test of all this is respond to all this and where we take the world. Now, I'm right now in a place where I don't even have a television. Up the next morning and had to, go look online to see what happened, even though I already knew. But the point is I chose not to have that before the after. I never watched any of the processes prior. And this is just a personal thing because it lowers my vibration. Choice that, and normally, and this was the other thing, normally, the results of an election have never actually affected me feel negative or positive way necessarily because I've always been able to see things from my point of view. And so I've always understood from some innate that inside of me always knew what really mattered, because at the end of the day, we were still missing the main message. Now, we're not missing the message anymore. We're not missing the main message here anymore. The idea is there is no more red and blue or black and white or green or yellow sides. We're all on the same side. We're all navigating this ascension process. Time to understand that transforming, that focus is crucial. This is the we have, and if you can find it, if we can truly find it in the depths of our hearts to love these people, all of the people who have come to the one that we're aware of in this focused timeline now, that have done what we would consider hideous things, or you know, if you
Wendy?
can,
Wendy?
those, yes.
You're breaking up really bad. We can't hear you very well because it keeps stopping and starting.
Thank you for talking on. I realize it helps. Is that better?
It probably will be better to keep off the video for now.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Thank you for stopping me, because that's very annoying.
Yeah.
So the idea is that to put aside the colors and the sides of and say what we want to put out to the world is the idea of the harmony of both sides, in that we all are embracing the whole reason for this situation. Now, I don't know how much of all of that you missed because of my technology.
I think I got the gist of most of it. Did everyone else?
Yeah. Yeah, I was able to hear almost all of it.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
It was breaking up a
Good.
little, so.
Yeah, okay.
And this was really the gist of the main message is that we have to be able to, if we can within our hearts truly embrace all of these individuals that have come to this place in all of these existences that we're aware of, that over what we call past, who have come and created these hideous crimes against humanity. Yet if we can find true unconditional love and thank them for their part that they agreed to play in this, truly, that is the true test of this. And how we, back to the television thing, I really had no idea until my husband told me that, you know, there was rioting going on, and I kind of thought that might happen, but it's because people feel as if they have no control, they have no voice. And now everyone's waking up. They're loud. They're saying, "Hey, what happened here?" We're awake now. And so if we can thank all of those involved from an unconditional higher heart place, and understand that they just simply on a higher level agreed to come and assist this ascension process, if we can do that, we have ascended, we have raised our collective consciousness agreement, frequency, infinite fold. That's what this was all about. And so we can send healing all day long, but what we need to do is send healing in with the idea that there is no more separation. We're all on the same human team. And this is the biggest message. Everything that's been brought up, all the emotions that I could not even understand I was even experiencing, all of these emotions that came to the surface, we must ask ourselves, and why am I having this emotional response to this idea, this person, this situation? And the other side of all that is to decide, how are you going to vibrate as a result of that? Because that too is a choice. So the idea is that change is always catapulted by choice. Now, for those out there who made a choice or made the choice not to make a choice, all of those are perfect choices because they all are a catalyst for the same end result, is global harmony. How we stand and look at a person who said, how can this person be a leader who is so showing us about division and separation? And well, exactly. That's exactly what we're supposed to be looking at, because we're supposed to be finally figuring out it doesn't work. So we have to thank them and we have to thank ourselves. We cannot feel sorry for ourselves. We have to stand up and pull our bootstraps up and say, hey, we chose to be here. We are the way showers. We're the ones who decided to come in this way, in this now, in this time, in order to catapult an entire civilization into a higher frequency understanding. You guys, me, you, all of you that are here today doing this, walking this walk, are the ones. We're the ones. We're so amazing that we have lost sight of our amazingness because we're all so worried about all of this little stuff that in the end of the day, this too shall pass. Look at all the presidents we've had, good, bad, and otherwise. And look at all the leaders that have been all over in all other parts of the world. We're not just talking about the United States here. We're talking about every other country, every other continent, in every other, what you want to call, time that has committed or acted in such a way that we were appalled, that we could not believe as a human collective that we could possibly create such a hideous event. This is what we're angry about in a way, because we can't believe, I couldn't believe we as a human collective, or we as an American collective, could possibly have put someone in place that we feel has anything but leadership experience or skills. So this is the idea, is we're done giving our power to one person. That's what this is all about. The power lies in you, the power lies in me, the power lies in our hearts, and the power lies in how you respond to this. How are you going to go out in the world? And are you going to now hate the person who voted for that person, or are you going to love because we all know it was all for the greater understanding? It's just like your parents. When they teach you something you don't want to hear, you hate them. You absolutely hate that they're pointing out anything in you that you need to, that you feel is wrong with you. So we hate those that point out that within us that we need to change. Isn't that why we get upset with each other? We are all reflections of each other. No matter whether we want to accept that or not, we are all reflections of what's going on in our world. And one minute that could be what we perceive as negative, and one moment that can be what we perceive as sheer bliss. However, the idea is that we need to move past that you did, he did, they said, and understand that we individually are the ones who, as we move through our day, are the ones who change the collective consciousness, that we are the ones raising the frequency, that we are not victims. We decided to do this. You're not the victim, you're the master here. So we are the way. We are the ones who said, okay, we're going to go through this and we are going to endure this because we know we are ascending a civilization. We are sending not only, do you know that this is the first time ever in any galaxy, anywhere, in any of creation, that a planet and its inhabitants have ascended a complete, utter dimension together? This is epic. This is huge. And so I don't know, as an American, I don't have a clue what tomorrow's going to bring. But I do know that how I treat you, how I treat the world, what I send to the world, what I choose to focus on, how I choose to take this confusion, that's what's going to matter. That's what matters. It doesn't matter who won or lost. It matters how it affects you, what you decide to do about it from here forward. It's going to don't we all sort of feel like, well, shit, we might as well just go and do and be who we are? Look at this guy. He did, look at him, and look what he accomplished. So we're angry sometimes because he's also showing us what we're not doing. We're sitting on our hands.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Wendy, is that I do believe that this person is here for a reason. Like, he's supposed to show us what we do not want to see, what we do not want our world to be, so that we can get off our rear ends and do something about it. Not think about it, not just say, oh, that's wrong, and walk on by, but really stop and pay attention to your fellow human being. What they look like, and everything should have nothing to do with it.
And this isn't about a vote. This is absolutely right, Val. This is not about
humanity.
This is about something that we collectively, okay, let's get to the ask and it is given thing. We collectively asked for a better world. We collectively received the answer from our Creator through a human being. Just like we did all the Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King, name them. We can name them all. Those people came to us as a gift from our creation because we were asking for something and we didn't know how to make it happen.
That's exactly right, Wendy. And also, I think that he is, we're supposed to be letting go of the things that no longer serve us now. We're supposed to be cleansing ourselves of the things that are, what do you want to say, against humankind, against animal kind, against kindness.
It's love. Right. Now, every time you go to think about, every time we judge another thing, person, being, circumstances, we are going to think about this situation, aren't we? And we're going to say, wait a minute, I'm being that person. Oops. That's not what I want.
Yeah, if you see something going on seriously right in front of you, I have seen it where somebody's fighting and people walk on by, or there's a homeless person laying on the ground and people walk on by. Do something about it. Every time you help humanity, that ripples right on out to the world.
Every day I ask myself, how may I serve today? How may I serve in my highest good and my highest joy, knowing that I am serving humanity then? And you're absolutely right. And the thing is that we don't know what happened to that person. For example, that person could have been, who knows, they could have been running a company and circumstances prevailed or maybe it was an illness who knows?
You're right. We don't know their story.
You don't know. Just like they don't know your story. So when somebody says to you, that you shouldn't act that, but whatever, how you say to them, well, how do you know? You've never walked in my shoes.
Exactly, Wendy. I am a handicapped person legally. I have a handicap thing for my car because I can't walk very far. People can't openly see that.
Right.
But that is the case.
Well, and my sister's the
So
same way.
here's
My
the thing is that
sister-
nobody knows my story. They can't tell by looking at me what has happened to me or how hard my life has been. So therefore, looking at someone in that position and judging them is not for us. And if anything, my life has taught me that. I don't judge anyone else by how they look or what they're doing. So they may be panhandling on the corner one day, like Wendy said, they might have had a successful job in the past, but something happened. Maybe it was a psychological break. We do not know. It's not for us to say. If you feel you have something to give that person on the corner, go ahead and do it. If it makes your heart sing, then do it. This is what I'm trying to say, is that all of humanity needs to put their hand and their heart out to one another. This is the only way things are going to get better. Take a look at Standing Rock. It started out with just a few young people traveling to Washington to draw awareness.
Yep.
And look where it is now. It's spread like wildfire. People all over the globe are marching for our clean water, for their clean water, for our clean earth.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that too, Val, because something that the spirit guides have been wanting me to mention too about this is that, you know, we take that anger and that confusion and we send it out to the streets in gangs of anger and violence and destruction, rather than transforming it. When we the people in this viewing room, we understand. Okay, let's take this another notch up now. We understand that by intention, we change our reality. So now the question is, what are we collectively going to do with our intention? Are we going to continue in the vibration of, I hate this, I don't like this, I'm in resistance to this? Or am I going to say, oh, wait a minute, I forgot, I'm a God. I can actually intend for the situation to unfold differently. So all of those who are in that same frequency of your mode of thinking are all going to travel to a version of the earth. Now remember, we're talking billions of versions of earth here now, guys. So you can travel to a version of earth in which this is not the situation. Simply by intending to say, I wish, or I envision something different for this country. And as long as we focus on changing what is by accepting it, ooh, there's a hard one, then we can transform that energy. Because like I said, you can't wash away negativity. It doesn't go anywhere. There's nowhere for it to go, because we're all part of everything. So it's about perception. It's about perception and perspective and choice of thought, choice of action, choice of frequency. It always has.
And I want to add, Wendy, because of the situations that you found yourself in your lifetime, has it not made it easier for you to let go things that you cannot have and move forward and make the best of what is?
Oh, completely. Because that's when you realize the power, where your true power lies.
Mm-hmm.
It's because that's when you realize where your true power is. It's always been inside of you, always. Because exactly, you're absolutely right. Because we can all take our circumstance and justify or nullify it, but if we stay in the same vibration of it, it will never change. We already know that. You can't stay in the vibration of the problem in order to find the solution. We all know that. That's old news. You know,
exactly.
Einstein's been telling that. You know what I mean? So now
I found myself telling someone yesterday that I know is a singer that was really depressed, and I said, you know what? Raise your vibration. Break out in song. You know, sing about it. Say how you feel in your song.
And that's exactly what Bashar and Abraham, what they've all been saying all along. You guys, you think it's this big, giant thing. They're like, no, moment by moment by moment, follow your highest joy, moment by moment, as far as you can take it, without expectation, until you can take it no further. That's how you change the world. You don't change it by thinking, you can't go from here to there. You know, we have to start with our own individual vibration, and then collectively it changes everything. Because if you change your vibration and you're enjoying the now, how you interact in that moment with that other person, that other reflection of you, how you react to that person, that reflection changes the way, the vibration of the planet, of the version of the earth you're on.
Yes,
And
and can
I
I
know
say,
how hard it is to wrap our minds around, but
no, it's really not. But Michelle does want to say something,
oh
so
yeah, please. I don't have a chat box, you guys. So Val, you're gonna have to monitor that.
yep, that's why I'm saying it.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, you know, the day I found out the news, I really had sadness, which has surprised me because I had not watched news. I don't participate. Like, I literally just, for the good of all, whatever needs to happen. So I was surprised by the intense nature of the sad I experienced, but it was literally for one day, so that was good. But I was just going to kind of put out a challenge that, I mean, this is a reflection of a collective consciousness of our cold black hearts. You know, like, all of these things that we judge are all of the things that, if I look a little more closely, I do. So when I start to judge or hate, now what I was gonna throw out there as kind of an idea for an exercise, a challenge, is that when I feel negative emotions that feel lower in vibration, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna say, what is it about me in this situation that I'm not addressing? What is it about my own heart? And then I send love to that. And because the parts of our heart that need to judge and be higher than another person's heart, regardless of what they do, every human being is a soul, is a beautiful reflection of God, no matter where they are on their path and what they came here to do. So I am not better than, and I do not get to decide that your path is less than. So my job as a healer, as a light worker, whatever, all of us are in that category, is to send my heart love for the things I see in myself that come up as anger and judgment. And then I also, in sending my own heart love, I send every heart love, because we are all connected. And then when I get around to seeing the bigger truth, then I also send love to you. Or maybe I just send you love anyway, knowing that the subconscious knows how to absorb that. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks.
Thank you, Michelle. That was
Bravo!
really beautiful.
Bravo! That's exactly what we're talking about. Exactly.
Okay, Wendy, and now we have Iraq that would like to say something. I hope you don't mind me abbreviating your name.
It's actually a reptilian name, Draco, to be honest with you, because that's where I come from. So for me, like, I didn't had a chance to talk to my family about what's so big about this election. Why do people get all mad about Trump and all of those stuff, and even Hillary? I also am a person who here in Washington, I had some people who hated Trump so many times, but so does Hillary. Is that a lot of times, because of the fact that we always have that us versus them mentality, and because of the fact that we just don't know what we want, we ended up like just choosing blindly whoever like suits us the best, when clearly sometimes the things that comes, what we desire is change. Sometimes it doesn't come in things that are pleasant. It comes sometimes in bricks, and it hurts. But you gotta understand that that if in terms of why did Bernie losses, because first off, he has to start things from the ground up. It's not part of our established mindset that we're trying to change. It doesn't reflect who we are. Versus Trump, instead of spending our time just getting angry at Trump, or even trying to I've seen anti-protests all over the map right now, including in here in Washington. But what I want people to do is, instead of just saying, oh, yeah, we're going to protest, why not we can just use Trump as an opportunity? Because I know that there's a lot of reasons that we can hate him. I know that there are some supporters that just don't even know what the hell are they doing. But it's all because we want something for the greater good. It's just, we just have different ways of doing it. We gotta start thinking the fact that we are, that we all are working towards the same goal. That Trump is trying his best. And that sometimes it's up to us now to take advantage of what he has to offer to us. Now, don't just just because you hate him and that you just want him out of office. You have to work with whatever's already existing and use it to your advantage. That's what I meant. That's what the Dracos meant by power. Is that it doesn't matter who's the leader. What matters is what can you do as a collective to use whatever's there to use it to your advantage. That is a man of power.
Thank you so much. That's very helpful.
Great, yeah, very nice, very great perspective. Thank you on that, and that's true. And it really is about inner power, finding our own inner power, and as you said, not resisting the situation, but what can we take and benefit from this? And if truly it is going to be we can't look, we only have now. There is only here and now. And many of us, I think, tend to get angry once we even allow ourselves to start thinking about 6 months or a year or 4 years down the line. I think part of those who didn't support that side are feeling that maybe they're angry because now they're stuck in this situation. And this is where we also, as you just said, need to you become stuck because you feel you have no power. But unless you go out there and say, wait a minute, I'm going to take back my power and take what I can from this situation, from this individual, this gift we've been given collectively, and how can I take this and make this for the use of the highest good of the all. So,
well,
yes.
And if I could also say, it really is a gift. It really, really is. I mean, taking all emotions out of the factor, what has happened is the most monumental, as I keep saying, because it's so true, this is seriously, we are on the most accelerated timeline of awakening as a whole collective. And what happened with him getting elected is an absolute catalyst in that, because now we are out of that same repetition. You said people feel like they're stuck in this situation. No, you were stuck in the previous situation for sure, with the dark cabal and all this crap that was going on that was behind the scenes that most people have absolutely no clue about. And that's okay, as long as you know that terrible things have been happening on this earth. And now it's changing, and now things are shifting. And so, you don't even have to delve into all that terrible stuff. But if you do, you find out that the extent of the corruption was so sickening, like you were saying, Wendy. It's like you look back at some of the leaders, and it's so sickening what happened, but they're ultimately, they were all just puppets. They were all puppets playing out. They were told what to do, they were told what to say, and the only real influence they had was really social influence, which is probably the scariest part. So now people are looking at the new guy who has been elected to have this social influence, Trump, who I know in the bottom of my heart, I mean, yes, there are those people that want to cling on to the discrimination and the judgment and the separation and everything. And if that's what they want to do, then they can keep doing that. And it's going to be really hard for them to continue on that path. Things are going to get more difficult for them because everything's a reflection. But for those who see the blatant, like, reality slap in the face of him getting elected and what that's showing to the world on how much people are now realizing, whoa, a lot of that stuff I do not want. I don't want in my personal life. I don't want in my family life, professional life, global life. I don't want to see this separation, discrimination, hatred, and especially I don't want to see I don't want to see the corruption anymore. And that's my most exciting aspect of this whole situation is we've stepped out of that elitist control system. With him getting elected, they can't do things the way that were originally intended. Everything is different now, and this is like just the most exciting possible thing. I mean, I didn't raise my hand and say, hey, I want Donald Trump to be president. But now that he has been elected, I'm seeing just the immense positivity that is spurring. I can already feel it. I can feel it inside of me. I can feel it in the whole collective. People are saying, wow, we can make this better. We don't have to depend on some dude who, oh, I'm the ruler of this country who has tried to say that they are the best country in the world. Actually, guys, there are no countries. There have not been countries. Countries are a complete illusion. We are all one collective species, and now is the time for us to finally figure out that uniting is the way to make things better for everyone. And so I just wanted to say that like, I personally am just absolutely elated at all of this. And yes, it might get a little bit rocky, but you know, that's part of this journey. And we are creating all of this so we can set our intention to create it in the best, smoothest, most loving possible way. Because it's up to us. We are gods.
And also, don't you think so that a lot of things he said, he was really just blowing it out of his butt for the most part during the election, and that's really not the person that he is. After all, he has raised some really good children. And, you know, he does run a business. He has to be able to get along with all races, all people of all different forms and from all different types of lives. So it's just mainly, I think, people are scared because they don't really know who he is. They don't have a clue yet of what's going to happen. But here's the thing is, we have the ability to make of this what we will. As our human colony, we have the ability to come together to be the people that we want to see. We can still act in decent ways if we want. We do not have to act like racist fools. You know, this is the thing, is I live in a part of the country where we don't, I mean, here in Missoula we have quite a few different people and from all walks of life because of the university. But in Montana in general, the population isn't that big. So we do find that there are a lot more white people here than most places. And so I have watched and lived through this kind of making fun of, or whatever you want to call it, of other races, and watched my parents do that growing up. That was just the way it was. But as I got older, my heart decided what was right and what was wrong. That's how I look at it. Our hearts have to discern what fits for us and what doesn't. When we see things that don't fit for us, then it just doesn't. It is that way in everyday life. So it really shouldn't make a difference about who the president is, per se, because the president really doesn't affect us in our everyday lives. It's up to us to make our lives what we want it to be. So I think that we get hung up too much personally, and we get too emotionally involved in who is going to be the president. I voted with my heart, and I know that I've told many of you this. I voted for Jill Stein. Why? Because her number one thing was helping the people and helping the planet. Those are things that resonated most deeply with me. Am I sad she didn't do well? No. Actually, I'm pretty happy she showed pretty well for a person that didn't have any money, didn't have any backing, none of those things. She still got her message out there in ways that counted. And I would vote for her again. I don't see disappointment here. What I see is a challenge. And that's pretty much what I've had my whole life. And I can imagine most of you have too. So take the challenge, rise up to it, rise past it. This is what I'm saying, is take the high road. Everyone knows it's much smoother. You know, it's not the bumpy road down below where I have been most of my life. Take this high road, raise your vibration, accept the things you cannot change, and move forward. Make the best of your lives. That is the best revenge that you can give back to whatever it is that you're fighting against. And really, there is no fight. For me, there is no fight. I've spent most of my life fighting, and now I realize I don't have to fight. My mind, my body, and what I choose comes forward easily. And once you accept that, once you go with the flow and start to let things just come to you as they should, as you think of them, manifest your own reality. I've been able to do that in my life, and I've came from the gutter of the gutters, guys. Every one of you has that same ability, every single one of you. I thank God not everyone's had to go through the shit I've had to go through in my life. But I'm telling you now that we are way stronger than we think we are. And we somehow don't know that until we have to go through the worst adversities ever. But know this, inside of yourself, you are strong. And like Wendy said earlier, you are a God. Because you have the power over your own life. No one else, not your parents, not your siblings, not anybody, not your president. It's just you. Just you. You are the power over you. And don't give in to fear. That's my biggest message. Don't let any fear of anything or anyone change who you are. Move forward in your own space. Hold space for yourself. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Is if you feel a disappointment, sure, let it move through. But then start the healing. Let the healing begin. And can I say that with genuine honesty? That Wendy, can you please let the healing begin?
Yes, absolutely. It is time. And that has truly been the message up to this point that I've been receiving in the last few days, is it really is time to see our own individual greatness, but realizing that our individuality is nothing more than a precious expression of the one creation, as is everything that we see around us. And if we can unconditionally love everything we see around us, it is only then that we can truly transform our lives. So at this time, I'd like to ask if there's anyone who'd like to offer any other blessings as we close this day, to send the highest healing of understanding, of acceptance, of our true inner power. If there's any statements or comments to that effect on
Yes.
galactic blessings, please do at this time, and we'll close. When everyone's finished, I'll close with closing prayer.
Okay, Bree, would you like to start? And anyone else, please chat on the sidelines if you'd like to chime in.
Well, I did for a while.
Oh,
Okay,
please.
just-
Yeah, go right ahead. please. I'll go second, no problem.
There was one time that I remember living over in China, or even in some of the regions where the Dracos used to live, like Vietnam, for example. The first thing that we always taught our kids is that the greatest light does not come from you just living alongside with those who are just like you. We don't crave such light. We don't crave someone who just like remains all like holy and everything. We don't crave that. What we crave is a person who will be willing to, even in the worst moments, even when they have committed the worst atrocities to people, and yet they still find their way home, and they still find their way to become good heroes. Those are the people that we want in our society. Someone who has been through a lot of tragedies and have seen a lot of worse things. That is a real power. Real power comes from taking whatever is evil and turn it into something good.
Thank you. Okay, Bree, would you like to start?
Yes. Irishon eko rohonan yan akashan out orohonya ata ao ka ayat ishurut o ana Yahara ao sorot onian ao kasha yahana nao toro oroto o anya ao ka ashuro o ota aya aota Noroto o shatata ya ka ao satayata ia koroto otototo yata ia kashata ao sa nananaya na ao soto toro to yata to koshoto yata roto to yata I to koshoto yata kata to yata to koshoto yata no roto yata yata koshoto yata no roa yato ko shanya atata o toro to ayaka a oso ota aya ao shototoaka o na aya ao o na yan ayashito oro ka hana ao oro to o soro o maya ao saya ao kaya shada nanaya o soro to May we all take these energies that we no longer desire and transmute them into positivity, into love, into oneness that we understand from the depths of our hearts. We are able to create our own reality, and moving forward, we are able to intend for what we desire to see manifest in our physical reality. And I choose love, and I know that you choose love on some level. I know that you also choose love. So together we can choose love together and healing and oneness. I love you all. Ushutoro no koa hanya ata ototo ta yaka shinyata autoroko. Aya hanana naokoro oto ananaya shata aoko atata. Namaste.
Namaste, Bree. Amran, would you like to go next? Okay, he says it's Michelle next.
All right, I guess it's me next. Oshakata Anna Sihitko Antko Ashikata Alko Tiato Anna Esikot Andik Eshikot Antis Chikat Anna Ichukot Anna. Osachikat Osio to the Anchiko or to Atikota Zinchikota Anskit Aiden or Shikata Energy got Anatica Otika Antica Osikos Kot Ichiko and Shikata. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Amran, Blue?
Yes, I will just give out a short blessing. I just send out my love, unconditional love for everyone. My gratitude and the energies of forgiveness, love and gratitude and appreciation to all of you and everyone around us and everyone on earth to be in these vibrations. Thank you very much.
Okay. And Arak would like to speak a blessing in his language. So go ahead. Thank you.
So yeah,
Brian?
yeah, that's me speaking in Kyakar.
Okay.
That's the best I can do. For
Thank you. It was quite dragony.
I know.
Brian, did you want to say a blessing? I know you can't see the side chat or anything, but I thought I would ask.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, that was beautiful. What I just heard, really cool. Draco energy, really nice. Like
Okay.
it. All right, I'll give you, hold on 1 second. Zinyo koto goli anani o ili anani oko alai mini ako ashiria ro inia Shili okoto nuatia, Saligamini, Shili okoto yak, Sani, she okoto goa, Nini and Yogo, Shili okotua, Shani Kyokoa, Ilianania, Liakia Baba, Shadiono Nukia Tikia, Lea Soru Lokotua, Nikia Katua. Inishi ukudukania kushkuduakaka hi shanua yakiakoa. Namaste.
Namaste, Brian. That was very, very nice. Anybody else like to chime in before Wendy ends it up with hers? Okay, Wendy, you're on.
Is there anything that you'd like to add, Val? And thank you for.
I would just like to thank everyone for their beautiful blessings, and I would like to add that Iraq said that his dragon was saying if it means, or no, he was saying that to defend, fight for what you love for, defend it with your life.
Yes, I actually felt that message very loud and clear, so thank you for that.
Okay, Wendy, we're ready for your blessings.
I want to begin by thanking all of you and thanking you, Val, and helping me create this space today. Thank you all for creating this space today and with your intentions, your hearts, your frequency, your messages. Each one of you and your galactic blessings, I received interpretations and visions. Your galactic families, celestial connections, all of the timelines, they're all watching. They're all here. The energy is nearly overwhelming for me in those messages that all of you spoke. I can barely speak now, actually. So we are a treasure in this existence. We are unique and the only ones who are strong enough and brave enough to have decided to do this. You need to each look at yourselves in the mirror every single day and look into your eyes and see all parts of you that exist simultaneously. Your past lives are not your past lives. They're happening now, simultaneously, concurrently, right now. There is no past, there is no present, there is only the here and now. This is crucial to penetrate into your understanding, your own multidimensionality. Where you will begin to understand your co-creation of all the parts of you that exist with you in this here and now. They're always there, always listening, always helping, always with you. We are all together in this. There is no out there. Everything is part of everything, and we are all born from the one same thing. There is no need for anger or judgment or pain. There's only growth and expansion in self-awareness. Knowing thyself is the reason you came here. And everyone's watching. Nobody has ever done this way before. In all the nows. We can't even begin to understand what that means. It's so precious. And the support and the information flooding this planet on this 11/11 day, on these epic days of awareness, every global change has been spurred on by the catalyst of an event. A collective, intentional event by frequency. Understand these events are created by frequency, not by specific detail. The details are unfolded in our three-dimensional creation. It's the overall frequency of the message that we're here to understand. The multidimensional teachings that are happening here. The multidimensional understandings of galactic love. This is bigger than you or me or this country or our countries or even our planet. It's bigger than that. This is bigger than that. They're all watching us and how we respond to this, how we change an entire civilization. They're watching, and they're with us, and they're helping us. All of these channels, and there'll be more and more and more to come. Every one of you are channels of source love and source energy. Every time you breathe, move, greet somebody, eat something, drink something, you are a channel of source energy. Constantly sending out a vibration, constantly. Now you're going to be aware of your awareness and aware of that vibration, constantly aware of what you're emitting. The power of this is indescribable. The power of this within you is your strength. For the greatest power does lie in the lightest touch. And that's the place in the heart space inside of you. That's not really inside of you. It's all around you. It is the umbilical cord to source. Nipola kiara sanya bakola hina. Poluhusa tarishnara kalohumbokosi kayanara. Oho torisotor shamahi walaki ayamaha to kondisaniara kola pashmeya sora ohatusa. Each of you contains every piece of existence, every realm, every species, every civilization. You are part of everything. You can reach and connect to anything at any time. Your intentions are your manifestations. Look around you. Everything you see in your reality, you created by intention. Nilo kosiara shnoy para kotorisa pela yenara. Otorishmike sarasanitur supolahi. Sotorishniara. Intention is invisible, yet it is the power of creation to create worlds, planets, civilizations, ideas, understandings. Niapolokia sarajniarwalaku. Ohonia satosipika tayisanara. Olukusipikia tayanmura. Honoya satiara wehelo yaki wakalokoya. Batorshnia. You all bring beautiful, great messages of love. Continue this. Every moment and every act, continue this distribution. For you are the antenna, the source of the love. You are bringing this source energy to this planet. And sending it out to the multiverse, and back it will reflect upon you. You are supported and loved unconditionally, beyond measure, beyond which that you can now even comprehend. Moya inuya oh you know you are Sinaya Hiluya oh yeah oh Nia Nolai. You are the symphony of creation. Sing your unique song of love. And create the world you feel in your heart. You see in your visions you know is and we are perfect and you are perfect, and we are one with you in this way, in this now. For all is here and all is now, and the one is the all, and the all are the one, and you are that all. You are an expression of pure love. And I would like to just say, for all of you who love synchronicity as much as I do, in the background, the song by the Fifth Dimension, Age of Aquarius, is playing in the background behind me right now, you guys. And for anybody who knows me, you know how I feel about that song. And we're here. This is it. This is our sign. This is the Age of Aquarius. This is us moving into the fifth dimension. This is it. The song is the confirmation.
Namaste.
I love you all so much. Thank you. Namaste to you all. I'm breathless with your love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, everyone, for your prayers, for your blessings, for your hope for the future. Have a wonderful day.